and how that works. And this is sort of a different perspective because as many of you know, I'm fairly new to Keller Williams, so I'm not sitting here talking about this having, collected and built up a profit share over, 5, 6, 7 years. I'm new to it, but I think it's a pretty neat concept, and we'll talk just a little about what it is for anyone that may be new on the call. But I'm assuming that most everyone knows sort of what it is because I know there's been other classes in the market centers on how to do this. So I won't spend a lot of time diving into that. Here's a little outline for the class. So what is profit share? Why pursue it? Developing a recruiting landing page. So I'm going to speak a little more about the how, or at least how I'm going about, in addition to focusing on selling real estate, to sort of set this up sort of as a little second track for me to sort of build, some relationships. It's also, proving to be a very good recruiting tool for us as we build out a team because it lets me meet some people that might be a good asset for our team. But then if they're not, they certainly might be great as, joining the Keller Williams family as well. So there's sort of, a couple purposes there as we're, in a recruitment mode. So it's, and some of the techniques I think I'm going to talk about also I think are ones that are great for a newer agent. So, the more experienced agents who have been out there doing co-brokes, they know everybody, they can probably do a little more offline recruiting, whereas a newer agent may not have quite those connections, at least with agents in production. And it's been my experience in this short time that I've been with Keller Williams is that it's harder for me to, have an experienced agent with another company, being open for a conversation. I mean, a lot of them seem to either have been hit up by someone else or they just seem a little closed-minded or not ready to, have that discussion, whereas a new person, hasn't been with other companies. They haven't necessarily made an opinion about anything, so you can sort of have a chance to talk to them. Here are some of the differences. Here's the questions to ask, and I find those, at least for me, have been easier conversations. So again, this is more of a little shop for me to sort of share what I've discovered so far, and hoping that it might work for some of you guys. So what is profit share? To me, passive income sounds like a pretty cool thing. Income that I don't have to actively work for. I read something in doing some research for this presentation that they once called it mailbox money. Proverbially you'd go to your mailbox, get this check that you didn't have to do anything for other than perhaps introduce somebody or tell them about the company. So that to me, I think, is a pretty cool concept. And this little chart here I found, again, I don't know if anyone's seen it before in a previous profit share class, but I found this kind of interesting. So, if you want to have profit share or passive income of $50,000, that's going to require $1 million in the bank at 5%. That's a lot of money. Most of us don't have $1 million sitting in the bank to get that income. So here's a way through profit share to build up that revenue stream without having to, have that capital in play. I mean, imagine if you were setting aside 10% of your commission income on an annual basis. How many? If you were putting away $100,000. That would take 10 years to get just $1 million in the bank. Never mind, that's $100,000 after taxes to even be able to get to this point. So there's people in Keller Williams that are doing this that I think are getting at those levels. So it is attainable. I don't think it happens overnight, but it definitely is feasible. So I thought that was kind of neat. Here's an example of somebody that I don't know this person, but I found it through some of the research that I was doing that sort of showed, what their projections were and how they, accumulated profit share. So from 1995 to 2009, this person looks like they've taken in $1.3 million in profit share, and that's from just having 29 people in their first line. So 29 people over 14 years? That's barely one person a year that they've introduced. And it looks like, in this example, it took them up until about 2001, 2002 to start to gain some real traction. That first year, $205, big deal. $374 the next year, but then it started increasing, and boy, did it take off, in 2003, 2004, 2005. I couldn't imagine getting $267,000, in a year, let alone passive income. Never mind, that's not a shabby income level for active income either through sales either. But to have that, whether this person was selling homes on top of this or not, I don't know. But it was quite impressive to me to see that, and then see what that trickles down to through a profit share tree. So I found a video here that I want to share, and I'm going to see if we can click on that and share it. Let me see how that works. Hang on a second while I open it up in a new window here. Okay, so hopefully you guys have some audio with this, and somebody let me know if if there's no audio with it when I play it. Whoops, looks like I'm going to have to log in. All right, so why don't we just scrap that? I'll let you guys check that out. Here's the link, and like with any presentation I've done, if you guys need copies of the slide deck, I'm happy to share that. As I said, I'm still sort of figuring out the technology here, and we'll get it figured out. But here's the link to it. It's Mark Willis speaking at a family reunion, I think in 2011, on a little bit of, it's only a minute or two, of profit share. He paints a picture of how they've got people in the Keller Williams company that are doing over $1 million, that have got over $1 million in profit share, like Linda here, at a rate of one person a year. So it's very attainable. That's what I took away from this, was that just introducing one person a year. Obviously, if they end up recruiting a lot and they're full cappers, that will help speed the process. But it definitely is, I think, attainable as all of us are out there talking to people and just, hey, here's somebody that might be a good fit, or did you know about this? So here's another little thing that I found kind of interesting. In the Keller Williams internet portal on our back end there, we can go in. I don't know if all of you guys knew this or not. I didn't know it until I kind of stumbled on it. But you can go in and see what everyone in our company, in our market center, has done for profit share in the last year and how that's changed year over year. So I didn't put names here, but I went in and looked and found some people. So there's some people in there that have two people in their first line. One person does that got $4,600 last year. Then someone else with three people got $5,800. 5-person, $9,000. 9 people, $8,800. And again, that's enough money to pay for a vacation. That's enough money to certainly pay towards some property tax bills for those of us homeowners. That's some real money. Then there's a couple of people that really started hitting out of the park. On the higher side of things, 15 people in that first line, $72,000. 21 people in that first line, $87,000. That's, to me, that's real money. Now you're talking, pretty sizable wage, and never mind what these people also did in terms of production as agents. So, you can't. I wasn't able to see profit share outside of our market center, so I couldn't see like company wide, but I could see certainly anyone in our market center. And I noticed a lot of people didn't even have one person. So, it's sort of that 80-20 rule. And I was talking with Alan last week. 20% of the people, pay attention or consider this something to work on. 80% of them either don't completely understand or just haven't decided that it's for them. And I'm assuming that because you guys are here, this is something you had some interest in, because it definitely, as I said, resonated with me. When I came on board. So let me just see if there's any questions. You can type in the chat box. I've just got to get my chat box back up here and see. Doesn't look like anyone has any questions. If you do, just enter them in. I'll try to watch them and bring them up as we go through. And then toward the end, I can turn the audio part on and people can ask them as well. So again, I was sort of planning on doing this live in person, but because of the weather, we're doing it virtually here. So let's see. So okay, so here's kind of where we jump into how did I go about finding this stuff. And actually, one question just came in: where did I find this information right here? That is back in the Keller Williams intranet, the back office area, up under reports. So right when you log in, and I don't have it in front of me, I can bring it up a little later. It was under our information shows up. It says there's a link for reports in kind of the upper left corner, and then you can find, I think it's Profit Tree or Profit Share, but it's in there. So we'll circle back around at the end of the presentation, and I can kind of show where that's at. So I built out a landing page to sort of drive people to. So I was going to sort of set up some plans here to have people, advertise so that, somebody had interest. Craigslist is one place, Facebook. Those are places where I sort of thought I'd put my feelers out and sort of just kind of see where, where people might have interest. So I wanted them to go to a place. So here is a site that I've created. Let me just kind of hop on another screen here and show you guys what that looks like. Me trying to manage all the windows here. So we'll bring Mark Willis back here, and then we'll go to exceptional real estate careers. So I being kind of web savvy, I built this little page for myself and have it, with a little video. And here's a little video that you guys can watch. And I play it now, but I don't know if the audio part will come through on the call. So no point in watching a video if there's no audio. So we can experiment with that later. But basically, it's just a 2-minute video of me sharing my thoughts, experience on Keller Williams. And a few other people in the office were kind enough to let me interview them to sort of put them in here as well, so it wasn't just my experience. But basically, anybody thinking about a career, they hit this page. It's a landing page, so what I mean by landing page is there's nowhere else to click on here. The only thing you can do is either watch the video or fill out this form. So I don't want people hitting this page and then jumping off and looking at houses or getting distracted. So they just fill out the form and then yes, I have a license. No, I don't. Some very basic questions, and then the email comes to me, and then I'm able to follow up with them. Another cool thing that I just found out about that is going to make this even easier for you guys is Red Careers is a sort of a recruiting tool that the office, Keller Williams Metro is paying for. So there is an opportunity for everybody in our office to have access to their own little mini recruiting site that looks like this, right here. So this is another landing site that the office is using to recruit with, and because the office is paying for this, everyone in our office has access to this. And this one is my version. It looks exactly the same. You can't customize it, but it's all the content's already got Mark's picture down here. Pre-populated, and then when someone fills out this form, which is very similar to the one on my own little example, Mark gets an email as a team leader, and you get one as well. So if he's having a conversation with someone, he knows where they came from. This is available for free, and it literally takes 30 seconds to set up. It is as simple as going here to this. You put in your name, your email, state, and I know I've got a few guys on here from Keller Williams Coastal, so you guys don't have this unless your office wants to do it. So we're at Southern New Hampshire is our market center right over here. You fill it out, you push the button, and boom, it builds that page right up. I mean, it is less than 30 seconds, easy, free. There's a way to connect it with Facebook. There's a nice little intro video that they have, the guys that created this. So this to me is a real, I didn't know about this until just last week. So I didn't have this as an option when I was setting up that other page, but this is pretty cool. Let's see. So we got a question, what's the Red Careers website? Is the question, what's the address right up here, or what is it? Okay, the address, redcareers.com/agent. I think, actually, that'll take you right there, yeah. So redcareers.com/agent will take you right to the sign-up page, and there's no other action other than putting your name, your email, the market center, and push the button. It's really that easy. So with that set up, and again, I would be happy to help somebody if they want to do another site like mine, but I think that would take more work than it would be to just use that other one, which has a lot more content to it and talks a little more about Keller Williams as an example. So this moving careers one is also one I was going to show you guys that I found. This is somebody, I don't quite know where this guy's out of, but he built an entire website with all kinds of content and a lot of stuff as a recruiting tool. And I've got the sense this guy's recruiting on a national level. Whether he sells real estate or not, I don't know, but he's definitely using this. There's a lot of pages here, and it's really like the whole Keller Williams story about the models and everything. So it's just an example of what somebody could, that wants to take the profit share concept and run with it. I suppose somebody could do that over, selling real estate and still have it, be lucrative for them. Let's see. Looking at questions. So, Greg, your question about setting up the page, the code you put on your own website. Are you talking about the Red Careers website?
You are now unmuted.
You guys. I've got you guys on mute. So actually, that sounds like it's making some background noise.
You are now muted.
So, yeah, Greg, this page connects. When you set this page up, you'd get, it's coded to you. So there's a special web address that you can send people to, so that when someone fills out that form, again, you'd get the email as well as the team leader does. So that sort of has that tracking way in there. So, and everyone sort of has their separately coded site. So it's different in that regard. Yeah, and at the moment, this one is just with Keller Williams Metro. Red Careers has some packages. If you go right to redcareers.com, under pricing, I don't think you have to be in office to take advantage of this. I think there's, I don't think you have to, but it's $300 a month would be a lot for an individual to pay. But certainly, if the office, if you're with a different office paying that, the personalized recruiting sites for every agent. So it might be something that another market center might want to take a look at as well to offer agents. So this little video that I did, 168 views. Whether or not you need that or not, I don't know, but I thought it's sort of a way to help share the story. So here's the Red Careers website. So it adds your name to the end of the web address, so that's where you would then send people to sign up. And again, they have a Facebook integration so that they have a blog feature so that they post things about Keller Williams on regular basis, so it would show up on your feed. You don't have to do that. I didn't choose to stick it on my Facebook, but certainly someone could, and it sort of automates that so that Keller Williams information sort of comes up in front of your sphere of influence, if you will, as well. So once you've got that landing page, once you've got a place to send somebody, then the next question is, how do I drive them there? So I have been experimenting the last couple months using Craigslist and Facebook to drive ads, and so far I've found Craigslist to be a little more effective. So this is, I don't know if you guys can make this stuff out on the slides, but this is sort of my tracking for my own little landing page as to how many people and where they're coming from. So Facebook has been driving the most traffic thus far, 118 views right here. And then I look over here on the right column. I don't know if my mouse shows up or not, but inquiries, goal completions, that shows 17 inquiries that I've received out of those 355 visits. And so Facebook has sent more traffic, but it's sent less inquiries than Craigslist, which is number 4, showing 5 inquiries. Now the direct, number 2, I'm not entirely sure what direct traffic is. Social media falls in there somewhere. Google doesn't always do a good job of breaking that out. But if I had to guess which one of those are more effective, because with Facebook I'm spending money to drive traffic on ads to it, as I am with Craigslist. So in terms of spend, I think Craigslist is a better buy. Here's an example of sort of the Facebook ad that I've been running. So you've got to have a Facebook page. You can't really run the ad in the news stream on your own personal page. So you've got to have like a business page for yourself, and then not to run the ads on the right side, but to run one in people's news feeds. So this is kind of what that news feed ad looks like. It says, ever wondering what a career in real estate would be like? Visit exceptionalrealestatecareers.com to find out more. So it basically just drives traffic to that little landing page, which again could be your URL, your web address for your Red Careers page as well. And incidentally, I didn't put it in the presentation, but you could get your own domain name with someone like GoDaddy, and then just point that domain name to that Red Careers URL. So it could be like, whatever you want, something different that just took the Red Careers part out of it. So it might make it look a little more polished. That would be easy enough to do. The cool thing with Facebook ads, and by the way, this process, all this stuff really could work for sellers as well. So you could certainly use, I've been experimenting with those same tactics of having a landing page for sellers for home valuations using Facebook ads as well. So this type of material would certainly work for recruiting, seller leads as well. The targeting on Facebook is really amazing. You can drill down, by all sorts of demographics. So here I am. And I haven't done enough of it to say exactly where the sweet spot is, but there's 46,000 people that live within a 50-mile radius of Manchester, have an interest in entrepreneurship or real estate, college graduates, ages 25 to 42, not connected to my own Facebook page. So you can break it down further by income level. You can break it down by other interests. If you haven't played around with the Facebook ads interface, it's pretty neat. And you don't have to actually run an ad to go in and pretend to set one up. So you could play around with some of the targeting without spending a dime. It's just, it might prompt some other ideas. You can actually run ads to people that are thinking about moving. If you wanted to put an ad in front of everyone in New Hampshire or within a 50-mile radius of the area you're working that's thinking about moving, based on, you could even also do it by income level and average price and by homeowners. So you could exclude renters. You could also focus on a certain price point. Now granted, you drill it down that much, the numbers start to become pretty small and the ads get expensive in New Hampshire, but it does have that power. So kind of neat stuff with Facebook. So here's an example of sort of one of the ads I've been running on Craigslist. Now Craigslist in New Hampshire started charging $25 a month per ad, which is new as of last month. It used to be that you could post the ads for free. However, now that you have to pay money, that means there's less ads because less people posting free ads, and you can add a URL to your landing page right in the ad. So it used to be that people had to cut and paste that web address. Now you can add it like you see in my example down at the bottom. It takes you right to exceptionalrealestatecareers.com. They click on that. It takes them right over to that landing page. So even though I wasn't crazy about spending the money, I find that I get a pretty good return from it. So far, in January, and I worked this up last week, so it's probably even a little better now. But my $20 ad spend for one ad has gotten at least 5 inquiries, maybe a few more, at the cost of $5 a lead. People that I've had conversations with, many of them are again new agents, so they haven't even been licensed. But again, you never know how many of those new agents might end up hitting out of the park. And to me, anyone that I bring in, I'm going to make these tools available and help them also consider building their profit share, because as you know, it helps build your second and third line and further down the line. So why not share those tools as well? So Craigslist, again, has been so far fairly effective. And I've just started experimenting with some of the other online job ads boards and found some of those are gaining some traction as well. So I can, as I learn a little more about them, I can share some of that details as well. Haven't tried Monster.com. Some of the big ones are pretty expensive, but there are some other ones out there that work. So offline lead gen, some other things that I've played around with. I have spoken to some pre-licensing classes, so for those of you that may not be all about the online stuff, certainly offline works as well. I've talked to some pre-licensing classes and had some conversations with people doing that. Many of those classes seem to be very open to having an agent come in and speak. I try to speak more about what it's like to be a real estate agent. I'm not necessarily going in there trying to sell Keller Williams. If that's where I happen to be, I think it's a great company, but I'm trying to more talk about what it's like being a real estate agent, and because these are all people that are newly getting licensed. Identifying real estate agents who you can come broke with. I've had some conversations, but I found that to be harder. Obviously, if you're able to, talk to them, I think it's again, I'm not experienced doing that, so I can't say this is the way that it works, but I think if you can understand what their business goals are and where they're trying to go, instead of saying, hey, join Keller Williams. Evidently, there's other people out there that have tried to recruit for Keller Williams before us and may have pushed a little too hard. I heard stories, someone told me of one guy that was recruiting and followed a fellow into the men's room. I mean, that might be taking it to an extreme. So I think that has made it more challenging for some of us who have discovered what Keller Williams is all about and want to share it without sounding like we have a hidden agenda. So I think just the outreach can be more done by saying, what are your goals, where you're at? Let me tell you about this, or let Mark talk to them, however they want to do it. But there is some pretty cool stuff, in Keller Williams that have, some of the Keller Williams University has some stuff, some books, some courses and stuff. So they talk about, giving gifts to people. So books like the MREA book, Shift. Most team leaders are happy to have a consult with somebody to just help them on business planning. So somebody within their office could certainly take advantage of that and still never make the change. It's just invite them into some of our training and some of the things. I know that most of that training is available for people outside of Keller Williams who want to participate, want to come in and do a business planning clinic. I'm pretty sure that most of that stuff is open. So it gives them a chance to just check it out. And business planning works no matter what company you're with. So that kind of thing could be of interest to somebody without them feeling like, oh, geez, Keller Williams trying to make me drink more of that Kool-Aid. So, I've also found in my limited experience doing this so far that, getting a chance to meet people, offline for some of these online leads, when I can get on the phone with them, I can, get a sense of where they're at, what their goals are, meet with them, show them around the office. I think that helps make it more human. I think it also helps them connect with you and start to build your relationship with them, because obviously the goal here is for them to want to see that this is a fit for them, and then name you as a sponsor when they're doing that paperwork. So I think the more you can help them understand and not just kind of leave them hanging, that, hey, here's what's going on, here's what kind of help you can get. You don't necessarily have to be their mentor, but letting them know that there is a mentor program, or some offices have productivity coaches. Letting them know here's what's going to happen once you're licensed, what it's like, here are your costs. All of us can speak to that kind of thing and help them understand that. And again, I know team leaders like Mark are always happy to step in with that. It depends how much you want to talk to them versus just make the introduction. Depends on your relationship with them. I personally like to, talk with people and sort of feel like I'm not going to send them to talk to the team leader if I don't think that they're, necessarily a fit for me or them. But most of those questions I know how to answer too, but I think that's more of an individual decision where you're at, and chat with Mark or if you're within the market center, the team leader, and ask them how they want to have that handoff. Mark and I have sat in on some interviews and as well, sort of make that introduction. So it's different with everyone once you get to that point. So help them grow their profit tree. As I said earlier, I think helping people that you do recruit is only going to help benefit you. It's going to help them be more successful as a real estate agent as well, so they know what options are there. Also helping these type of marketing tools, making that available to them so they understand the profit potential with profit share. I don't know that that's a reason to join Keller Williams just for that, but certainly as a new agent coming on board with Keller Williams, even if you're a seasoned agent from somewhere else, letting them know about this, as we saw in that first slide, planting those seeds now on that profit share model is starts early on. So I would encourage everyone on this call to set a goal if you haven't already for this year. I've got a goal of trying to get how many people I'd like to recruit over the course of this year, and I think everyone should set a goal, even if it's just one person. As you could see, one person a year for 14 years has gotten some people to over $1 million in profit share. So obviously it depends on who that one recruit is, but it's definitely possible. So imagine what 2 or 3 a year could do, or 5 or 6. It just is one of those things that I wanted to put on my radar and sort of build some of these little models and tools in place sooner than later, so that I wasn't, 5 years down the road saying, I might want to do something. Instead of waiting for people to come to me and say, hey, can you tell me about Keller Williams? I wanted to, be a little more proactive about reaching out there and saying, hey, have you ever thought of a career in real estate? Here's my take on it. So that's sort of more the active versus the passive approach. So some things to help you get started in this. I'm more than happy if somebody would rather have one of these little recruiting landing pages to do one up for you. I can host it on the Exceptional Real Estate Careers site. All I do is just add your name to the end, and it's sort of just like the Red Careers one. I'll just make a little mini version of the same thing, and emails go to you. I don't know that offers any more value to someone versus what is on the the Red Careers one. I think that's free. That's got a little more content, good place to start. But if somebody wanted something, I'd be happy to share that and set that up. And also a little testimonial video. If somebody wants to do a testimonial video like the one I've got, I talked to my video guy to help me with it. And if we shot at the office at some point, I could send him the footage and have it, send you like a little 1-2 minute video if you wanted, just sort of sharing your story. You could make one yourself too. I mean, it does not need to be high-end. Take your camera phone, a web camera, anything, and just shoot a video and have somebody hold the thing for you if you feel weird talking into a camera. And just say, hey, here's my experience, here's where I'm at, this is why it works for me. Just be honest, and then have that there. And you can add that to a page. You can send it to somebody by email. Just, once you put it up on YouTube or Facebook, it's available to be linked to. So I'm a big believer in video. I think video is a great medium. It also helps make us look a little more human and shares the emotion that we don't necessarily get through an email or a phone. Well, sometimes with a phone, but with email and online. Google AdWords. I haven't tried using Google AdWords yet for recruitment, but I probably will. So somebody searching Google for things like, real estate career, you can tailor those ads so that, again, just by radius. You can't work on Google the way you do on Facebook on such demographics. You can do it by geography, but you can't break it down by much more than that, because we don't log into Google, and Google doesn't know as much about us as Facebook does. But if anybody wants to try that, there's a link right there to a $75 ad credit with Google AdWords. And you can use Google AdWords for seller lead gen as well, so same type of concept. At Keller Williams University, Grow Your Profit Share Tree and Wealth Building Workshop content. I think this is the curriculum that is taught in the market centers. I haven't been to one, but I believe this is taught by people like Alan, Bill, and Mark in Bedford. Team leaders, OPs. But this is the curriculum that exists there. So if you're a brand new agent and you haven't had one of those sessions come through yet, you could jump to here. You can find some curriculum. There's some workbooks and things on how to build out your profit share. So if you're, again, new on the call and profit share is something you haven't been through another class on, there's another source for some great information as well. So I think that is sort of the end of it. Obviously it goes a little faster when it's just me talking and I don't see all you guys in front of me. So maybe some of you are listening, maybe you're doing 100 other things on the internet as well. But certainly put any questions in the chat box if there are some. I'm happy to answer any that come up about how I did it, how we got started. I can definitely share the PowerPoint, so I'll email that out to everyone on this call. So anyone who's registered, which is all of you, I can just send out one email with the PowerPoint, so I'll pass that along as well as soon as we get off here, so you have that. And it's just I'd say set a goal. I'd love to hear what your goals are. 1, 2. I mean, again, one person a year seems very attainable to all of us, especially agents that are in production out there, meaning co-brokes. You do a deal with somebody that you really think, and now I've done deals with people I would not want to do them again, so that person's not going to get it. But certainly someone that I think, hey, here's a great agent, let me just tell you about where I'm at. And guys, I get it. I was on my own for 10 years before I came here, and I didn't think that, when you're working on your own 100%, from day one, I was like, why would I go anywhere else, and give up anything? But I saw value here, and having been here, there's a whole heck of a lot more value that I get back that I didn't even expect. So it's, some people it's timing, other reasons it's different motivation. But, go out there and set some goals, and if I can help you, I'll certainly share experiences as I work through it. So thank you guys all for coming on board. I appreciate your time. I hope you're keeping warm and safe, and don't work too hard shoveling, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And I'll get that PowerPoint out right away.